Welcome inside the Minto Sports Complex in Ottawa. Graham Naismith alongside Declan DeBarp as we're getting set for Ravens versus GG's women's hockey. We'll get into the starting goaltenders, and in goal for Carleton is Caitlin Whitehead. She had a rough outing in her first game as a member of the Ravens, giving up 7 goals on 42 shots against the Bishop's Gators last week. She comes in with quite the pedigree, however. The 22-year-old spent 4 seasons as a backup with St. Lawrence University, posting a 9-9-1 record. And in goal for the GGs is Mika Sarrazin. She was a rookie all-star a couple of seasons ago, but had a rocky first outing as the GGs fell 4-1 to the Montreal Carabins. Sarrazin giving up 3 goals on 32 shots. She is the starter this season, however, after being a backup to Aurélie Dubuc the past couple of years. Pat Gagnon is wearing the bands today. Among our officiating crew, the former general manager, field manager, and starting catcher of the Ottawa Fat Cats, and he's going to get us going here. Top line out for the GG, second line out for the Ravens, and we're underway in Ottawa. Graham Naismith with Declan DeBarp alongside, and immediately there's an icing waved off as Kira Merriman goes hard into the end boards. Larkin trying to dig it free, Birkby over as well. Sydney Berta. There's Ryan getting a stick down. Birkby trying to skip past one of 2 fifth-year players in the lineup today for Ottawa. Lalonde trying to cycle with Birkby. Now Birkby's going to wheel out with it, but her stick's lifted, and it's grabbed by Sydney Berta, who's going to move forward. Berta trying to put it through Michaela Krasinski. Now here's a shooting opportunity. Great move to the backhand. It's an excellent save by Sarrazin. It was Cernuk who weaved her way in there.
Sarrazin was tested early and often last week. The GGs will be hoping to play a little bit better core defense. They allowed too many passes through the middle of the ice against Montreal, and it came back to bite them.
Yep, that a 4-1 season opening loss for the GGs against the team that they really took to the brink last year in the playoffs in the RCQ semifinals. Bouncing pucks, centering feed to no one in particular, and it's going to go all the way down the ice into the Ravens zone so the GGs can get some fresh skaters out.
Graham, we have one debut here tonight. Emilia Laplante, she didn't feature in the first one. Sorry, two debuts. Molly Hyenton also starts. We'll look to highlight her. She was mighty impressive in preseason. Ariane Manville is out tonight with an upper body injury.
That a big loss for Ottawa. Minville on the back end, but it does give Laplante the opportunity to get her first career conference appearance. And there's Maëlle Laplante, no relationship, or pinching down rather. Charlie Healy on it in the corner now, centering pass. That one off the stick of Whitehead. Here's Poole with the drive. That one hit LeMay up high, and it's down the ice. Poole got the lone goal in that 4-1 loss a week ago that we were mentioning, which is a nice get for her as she struggled offensively last year. Not quite the same numbers that we saw in her rookie year in 2021-22.
She missed some time in her sophomore season. The defenseman was so crucial to the GG's power play that struggled at points last season, finished under 10%. It'll be looked to improved upon this year if they're hoping to be successful.
Yeah, right, you are the right shot defenseman. And now perhaps something on here for Ottawa as Biesenthal was trying to stick handle her way in, but it was knocked off the stick. Here comes the captain of the Ravens, Justine Beard, but it rolls off her stick, and now it's Flo Lessard. Lessard into the zone with Biesenthal. Now it's Gagnon with a drive. That one got through Whitehead, but it hits the side of the goal. Ravens attempt to break out here across their own blue line. They'll get it across the red line and lug it in. Icing waved off, I suppose, as Reese Metflim's back to get it. Gagnon puts it off the boards as a number of players tumble to the ice, and it's all the way back down for Peyton Miller. Touch pass into the middle. Meisner now dropping it off for Moret with a long shot. That one well wide, and something maybe on here for Ottawa on the counterattack. Here comes McLean with Taylor Scott. Hyington as well, and Scott just offside at the Ravens line.
Taylor Scott is a firecracker of a player. She missed stretches of last season after going down in the Colonel By Classic with an injury. She started this season red hot, yet to find the back of the net, but a number of good opportunities. The best player against Montreal for my money.
Well, you mentioned that injury was eerily similar to that exact play. She was reaching to stay on side on a break in the Colonel By Classic at TD Place and went down awkwardly, suffering a knee injury, and that was it for the regular season for her. She did return for the playoffs, however. Berta to the point. There's a long drive. That one just wide of the goal of Sarrazin. Off the stick of LeMay. Berta again at the side of the goal. She's going to try a tight angle shot. Sarrazin swallows that one up, and the faceoff comes to the left.
Graham, you had mentioned Sarrazin's play. I thought that she was one of the best players for the University of Ottawa against Montreal. She really kept them in the game for long stretches. She'll be tested early on in this one. Carleton, a high-flying offense that loved to direct pucks to the front of the net.
Well, she was really good last season. In fact, in the time she did spend, which was substantial considering Aurélie Dubuc was away at the Fichu game, she was very good. Here comes Merriman with Lalonde trying to slide across. That one broken up by Mumford. Amelia Laplante now trying to stick handle her way into the home plate area, but it's Berta who picks it up. Cernuk can't get it past. Who they're pinching in, and she'll dump it back down for Mumford. Mumford banks it for Cecilia Lopez, a real dangerous player for these Ravens. Spent a bit of time with Dartmouth down in the States. Actually played in Spain during the COVID-19 pandemic. Lopez who tries to lift the stick, and she does just that. Now a centering pass, and it's picked back up by Birkby. Lopez with a couple of assists in the Ravens' season opening loss to Bishops.
And that's why Cecilia Lopez is so dangerous. She never knows when to give up. She's a real nose for the puck and always seems to get into the right areas at the right time.
There's a turnover shot just over the goal. A glorious opportunity for Abigail Byrne. She saw the top of the net open, but just put it a bit too high, and now it's gathered by Charlie Healy. Healy can't quite move it forward. Maya Laplante with a bit of space to operate here. Kind of stick-handled her way into a cul-de-sac, however, and it's gathered by the Ravens. And this one's banked down for Reese Metfum to pick up. Metfum just muscles it out of the zone. That's Clavel putting in some work in front of the bench. And now a saucer pass for Healy just over her stick. And it's our first icing of the hockey game.
That's one that Healy will want back. She could have trapped that puck and headed off in the right direction. Product from Calgary, Alberta. Mighty impressive in her debut for the University of Ottawa. Contributed with a few shots, kept the cycle going at times. The GGs have really shown that they have a profile of player that they like to go after. Fast, speedy, tenacious.
Yeah, and also they also prioritize, people who are good people in the dressing room as well, and that's really been a constant for the program over the past couple of years. High character players coming in, and it's worked out for them as there's a long shot that's kicked aside by Sarrazin off the stick of Reese Cole-Ashbury. Banked forward and then out by Clavel for the aforementioned Healy to chase down. This one off the boards, just missing Ryan. Picked up onside by Berta. Sydney Berta trying to settle the puck down. Banking it back for Mumford. She'll try a long shot. Sarrazin saw it, then briefly lost it, and then pounces on it.
Sarrazin, not the biggest goalkeeper, but positionally sound. That one she definitely didn't see. Got down, saw the puck. When it finally cleared through the stick, through the fray of bodies, and jumped on it, something she did fantastically against Montreal and throughout her entire time with the University of Ottawa.
Meisner won that face-off, and it hits a body, and then it's gathered by Kathleen Reedman. First time we said her name today. Chipped pass. Here comes Lessard. She can fly. She's got Biesenthal with her. Lessard with a low pass, and it somehow rolls wide of the goal. And now there's an arm up, and it looks like the GGs will take, and Biesenthal sits down two players there. But I think Lessard's going off for head contact. Oh, no, it actually is Biesenthal who's going off for head contact.
Biesenthal frustrated on the rush back the other way. She got all tied up with, I believe it was Cole-Ashbury. Took out her frustration on Cole-Ashbury in front of the net with a high cross check. And she'll sit for 2 minutes. A needless penalty for Gigi's power play, or for Gigi's penalty kill that only killed off one of the two opportunities they faced against Montreal.
We'll see how they do here as this draws one back to Lengel. Byrne trying to turn around. Back for Lengel. Looking down low. Reedman got the stick on it, but now she's in a bit of trouble in the corner. That one picked up by McLean, and it's down the ice for an early clearance. Breaking out now. Lengel again. Can't get it through Catherine Birkby. Birkby so dangerous shorthanded last season. Abby Malotny, another player who seemed to always get out there shorthanded. Malotny now playing professionally in Sweden with Modo. And now here's Lalonde. Really good work on the forecheck here as they've killed off the first 40 seconds of this power play.
Birkby and Malotny were such a dangerous force on the penalty kill. The first goal for the GG season actually came on a Catherine Birkby chance that sprung Abigail Malotny.
And this is some really good killing here for the GGs as they're a minute through the power play. But can the Ravens respond with Cecilia Lopez? That play surely offside. Nope. Play right on, say the officials. And it's cycled back for Sydney Berta. Ryan backhands it in. Looks like Maya Laplante's going to be first to this puck. And she clears it to the line and out. And there might be something on here as Bilodeau skating it down. Whitehead's going to have to be composed, and she is as she gets it along the dasher boards to Ryan. That's Clavel getting in there, however. Here's Alex Clavel with a shot. That one blocked out in front by Miller. Bilodeau in there again. This has been a tremendous GG's penalty kill. Nothing in their own end, apart from maybe an early long drive from Lengyol. 25 seconds to go in the Biesenthal penalty. Here comes Peyton Miller. Dumping it forward, helped along by Beck. Ravens getting a change in, so Metfum easy penalty killing there, puts it along the boards, and that should about do it. Greg Bowles and Jen Wakefield will be very happy with that first kill.
And talking to Greg Bowles before the start of the season, they really prioritized the work of the special teams. Special teams, definitely their weakness through last season, look to be hopefully corrected. The power play still a question, especially without the services of Jade Todd today.
So Biesenthal out of the box, we're back to even strength. Hyington on the puck. It's going to move through the middle here. McLean stepping around one, but then just rolls off her stick. She'll try to skate down against Larkin. She'll get there first. Taylor Scott on it now. Banking it back for Riedman. Riedman tees it up. It took a deflection off of the stick of Beard, and then it's steered up into the mesh by Whitehead. We mentioned Whitehead coming up from St. Lawrence University. Really a high-profile transfer, you'd have to say, and we said it in the pregame. 9-1-1 through 4 seasons with St. Lawrence, and a sub-3 goals against average. In fact, a very sub-3 goals against average, 224 through her handful of appearances as a backup.
And this has always been a goaltenders conference. You think of some of the names, especially on Carleton. Catherine Steele, the one that comes to mind right away.
Well, Marie-Ève was very good last season. Sarrazin very calm with that puck, playing it off the boards, but not out. This one throwing back in there, and it's blocked by Angie Prou. This one muscle along to LaPlante. Breakout feed and a good one for Merriman. Merriman can fly. She's going to step in now, trying to stay on it, but then just loses her balance and takes a tumble on the check of Coyle. Metfum gets in there ahead of Lopez, who falls down. Loose puck through the middle. Good sidestep there. Here comes Beck, dropping it off. Onto her backhand now, a shot gathered by Sarrazin. It was off the stick of Byrne.
Maya LaPlante has never been afraid to step up in the play. That one almost bit her there, as it was a funny little bounce off of her defensive partner, Angelique Prou, that generated that opportunity there.
LaPlante really an exciting recruit coming in from Limoilou, as she was a second-team All-Star in the RCQ Collegiate Conference 2 seasons ago. Centering pass, it's loose in front. Sarrazin down and out, but Ryan couldn't pull the trigger. Metfum getting in a key block. Clavel can't quite get it out, but now she does muscle it out, and Charlie Healy's going to skate it down. Whitehead again calm on the puck, getting it to Lopez. Her puck handling has been exemplary thus far. Caitlin Whitehead. This one just through the skates of Daphne Lemay. Lemay with Beck. Lemay onto her backhand now. Can she pull the trigger? Easy save that time for Sarrazin. Riedman can't get in there. Byrne centering pass. Beck pulls the trigger, but then it's an easy stop for Sarrazin. Nothing too substantial for Sarrazin thus far, you'd have to say, but saves to make nonetheless.
A couple of scrambles as well. It's an indictment on the GG's defenders, who at points this season have not been able to clear their lines. That's how Montreal scored 2 of their 3 goals.
Montreal actually fell last night to McGill 4-1. Remember, last season McGill were just hopeless, which is out of character for them, but they get off to a bit of a good start. They lost to Concordia, but then they beat Montreal. So McGill looking to maybe make a bit of a statement. Here comes Biesenthal, centering for Gagnon, but it can't get through Lengel. Biesenthal again, dropping it off. Gagnon trying to cycle it back to the point for Riedman, who can't quite hold it. This line of Lasalle, Biesenthal, and Gagnon has looked dangerous when they've been out there.
They're such an energy line, and they go out there and they fly. Look at Florence Lessard right in on the attack. She's always has a nose for the puck, and I think it really complements the skills that Biesenthal has. She'll be one of the players that they rely on the most this year. Is Vicky Harkness and Abigail Malotny have graduated from the program. Biesenthal 12 goals last season.
Yeah, playing on a line with Malotny and Jade Todd. And yeah, tremendous seasons for all 3 of those players last season. Lessard up for LaPlante. LaPlante can't quite get around Lani Guimont, who led the team in goal scoring last season, or joint lead, we should say, with 6 goals. Nicole Hunter also with 6. Hunter not in the lineup today for Carleton. Pass up just misses Victoria Bullock. Can Taylor Scott turn forward? Maëlle LaPlante again already. She's logging some big minutes. 21 in gray. Whitehead backhands it to the line, but not out. Hyington steps in. This one back to the far side. Larkin won't get in there ahead of the Gigi just hopping off the bench. Now this one just past Metfum. Amelia Laplante over to deal with this one. Spinning on a dime and turning it back up ice. Just lofting it forward. Icing's going to be waved off here as Lalonde skates it down. Whistles at a premium through the first period. That's Berkby trying a toe drag. Can the Ravens counter? Meisner just has it roll off her stick, however. Icing waved off as Reedman's back to get it. 11.5 minutes gone. Nothing doing thus far from the Minto Sports Complex in the first meeting of the season between the two crosstown rivals, Ottawa and Carleton. Ottawa took the season series last year, 4 wins, 1 loss. The biggest win coming in the Alerts Cup. A thrilling overtime win. Miller lofts it forward, fresh off the bench to rescue there as Laplante gets it to Krasinski. Krasinski, the captain of the GGs for the second year running, banks it forward. Berkby at the end of her shift is going to skate it down. Merriman's right there, though, creating the turnover. And then Miller throws it out of the zone. Stepping up his Pooh, had to be sure of herself, and she gets the puck. Lalonde turning forward. Merriman is the trailer. Lalonde stepping inside, just misses Berkby with the centering feed. Lopez at the breakout point. Chucking it back for Miller. Now this one banked forward. Here's Cernak. Had a step for a moment, now turning back. Cernak to the line. Stick lifted. Berkby's going to be the first one into it at the corner. Laplante to Healy. Not quite able to break up, but now they do turn it forward for Clavel. Laplante jumping up again. Healy trying to turn towards the goal as Laplante brings it around. Laplante poking it back for Healy. Clavel's loose through the middle, but Healy turns on a dime back in the corner. Healy on it once more. Bilodeau parked out in front. There's the shot. Whitehead saw it all the way with Bilodeau trying to get the tip.
Kate Lengel flew in there, going to go defend her goalie, but it was exactly where you want to see. As Healy, that one a nice shot. She creates a little bit of time.
Actually, there's 3 Calgary Fire alums on the 2 rosters today. Only 2 of them in the game. They're both for the GGs, Healy and Hyington. And then there's Avery Krawchuk, who also played for the Fire, not in the lineup today for Carleton. Laplante to the breakout point. Look out. Lesog's loose through the middle, but Bilodeau's going to take it herself. Bilodeau dumps it forward for Lesog to skate down. Whitehead again on the puck, and her puck handling has just been very, very good today thus far, Declan.
It's been a calming presence back there when you can effectively have a 6th forward, a 6th player get you going in the right direction. It's a risky play for some goalies, but when you're as confident as Whitehead seems to be.
Icing called here against the GGs, and we were talking about this line before. Lessard, Gagnon, and Biesenthal. It's easy to forget that Lessard and Gagnon played together at Limoilou because you think, okay, Lessard coming in as a transfer from Clarkson, whereas Gagnon's been here for the duration of her career, but they did have quite a bit of chemistry down with Limoilou in the Quebec CEGEP ranks.
And it adds to the long list of Limoilou products the GGs have on their team.
Every year it seems like there's 2 or 3 that come through. Reedman just off the stick of Biesenthal. Biesenthal in there onside, trying to step in. Alyssa Biesenthal, maybe one stick handle too many as a stick got in there. Now Gagnon not quite able to get it. Now it's off to the far corner. Moret. Moret lofts it to the far side. First to the puck is Coyle. Coyle there battling for it. Laplante, there's one of those Limoilou players you mentioned, Declan. Moving it forward and then chipped in by Gagnon. Taylor Scott to skate it down. Lengel not quite on it, and Larkin moves up ice. Lopez wants on the near side, but instead they keep it on that far side for Ava Beck. And that one taken away well by Kate McLean. Pass just off the mark. Icing should be waved off here as it won't even have the leg to get there. Lengel, pass picked off by Scott. Scott banks it forward. Here comes McLean to skate it down. Not quite able to get there ahead of the Ravens, who have cycled it back to the far side. Now it's going to be Reese Metfum on it. One of 3 Alberta products in the lineup for Ottawa, along with the 2 Calgary Fire alums, but she's iced it here. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, it's a big day for Gigi's Athletics, and the big one is the women's rugby team winning the provincial championship up in Quebec City and Laval, their first provincial championship since 2019, so a big feather in their cap, as well as for first-year head coach Duncan McNaughton. And they'll start their pursuit of the national championship in 2 weeks' time, right back up in Quebec City at Laval.
Looking to add to their mighty impressive trophy cabinet are the women's rugby team.
Yeah, what is it? I think it's 7 straight medals at a U Sports National Championship to this point. And they'll be going for even more. They took bronze last year in Victoria.
It's a year of bronze for this school. Bronze as well for the women's team, the women's soccer team who won today.
As well as the men's basketball team who played last night. They get their season going in November. And yes, a win for the women's soccer team as well. They'll be playing tomorrow and playoffs starting very soon for that sport. Picked up by Ryan here. This one poked past. Arms stay down. Just one penalty thus far. Here's Berta. She's got Ryan with her. Berta with a low shot. Swallowed up by Mika Sarrazin.
You're going to have to do better than that to beat Mika Sarrazin. That one a shot right into the chest. She had an on-rushing player with her. I believe that it was Mira Ryan who made her way towards the net. It was a good defensive play there from the University of Ottawa to make sure there was no pass, and easy enough for Sarrazin.
Draw one by the Ravens. Long shot kicked into the corner very well by Sarrazin. That's one of her real strong suits, I think, that rebound control, swallowing up the puck or putting it into the corner if she's unable to grab it. Working with the goaltenders coach Matthew Jenkins, who actually spent a fair amount of time with the Carleton program, mainly on the men's side, I believe. Here comes Beatrice Bilodeau with a shot up high, stopped by Whitehead and into the corner. Good clear-cut opportunity, though, for Bilodeau.
And that all starts with her speed. She's one of those players. Brianna and I felt like we said it every single game. She does everything but score. She's around the net. She's around the points. Last year, only 6 points for Bilodeau. She'll look to improve upon that this season.
Yeah, a rookie all-star, however, in the Quebec Conference and one of the fastest players in the conference. And she's over there slashing away at Bullock. Guimont. Guimont turned aside by Angie Proulx. Loose puck there. Clavel battling for it, and Clavel comes away with it. Laplante, as the Gigi's change, she'll just hold on to it, buying her time and then dumping it in. Biesenthal to chase. Here's that second line with Biesenthal, Lessard, and Gagnon. Let's see what they can get going here as Lessard's in to try to dig this one free in the far corner. Biesenthal as well. Lessard has it. Getting it to Gagnon with a drive. That one just deflects wide. I think it was Ryan who got the block. Gagnon again, it's bouncing in there and just squirts wide. Now the Ravens get it back with Cernak, who throws it forward, but Reese Mepham's going to get it and try to turn it right back where it came from. Ravens on their heels a bit here with 3 to go in the first period. Loose puck through the middle. Ryan first to it ahead of Lessard. Ryan turning it back. Lessard back on as she gets it to Gagnon. Gagnon steps aside. Gagnon still going, trying another move, but that one not going to get through the Ravens defender, Mumford. Coyle takes a tumble. Nothing doing here from the officials, just the one penalty thus far. Krasinski banks it up for Birkby, who just misses Kylie Lalonde. Mumford back again, wheels around the goal. Banks it off the boards. Reedman steps in. Birkby has it at the point. Couldn't get it through the Ravens defense. Reedman tried to give it to Krasinski, but Krasinski wisely doubles back, as if she'd missed that puck, it would have been something of a 2-on-0 the other way for Carleton. Throwing back in there, offside the call, as unintentional that time from Meisner and Moret.
Another impressive shift there from the University of Ottawa. Second line, I do really think that Flo Lessard and Alyssa Biesenthal's skills really complement each other. Flo Lessard always has a nose for the puck. We've said it a couple of times tonight, but she heads right after it, loves winning the puck back, and has an eye to set up Biesenthal. When Biesenthal starts scoring, she doesn't stop and has a nose for getting in to those places where no one else will find, and she has a heck of a shot. It's just a matter of time before she finds the back of the net.
Yeah, she scored a couple of highlight reel goals last season, including a hat trick against the Ravens at the Ice House in a game that ended, I believe it was maybe 4-3, so a very important hat trick in that case for Biesenthal.
One of 3 hat tricks she scored last season. She scored 2 against the Bishops University Gators.
Yep, really a great season last year for her. That centering pass picked off by Guimont and dumped back in. Laplante, so it's an all-Limolu defense pairing of Maëlle Laplante and Angie Proulx. Larkin This one back behind the goals. We're inside the final minute in this first period. Beatrice Bilodeau behind her own goal for Clavel. Lofts it forward. McLean skating it down. Not quite going to get there ahead of Whitehead, who throws it off the boards really well. And here come the Ravens. Beard going to try to go it herself. Bouncing puck steered aside by Scott, and Biesenthal turns up ice. Alyssa Biesenthal with Taylor Scott. Alyssa Biesenthal still going. She shoots. It's a great save by Whitehead. Looking for the top corner, and that's the danger of Biesenthal. She can just weave through, seemingly at will. Beard not able to steer it forward. That one to the line and just out, so LaSalle has to touch up with about 12 seconds to go. Ravens thinking about perhaps one last rush. Mumford banks it off the boards. It's going to be gathered by Metfum, who steers it into the boards. And now LaSalle chucks it forward, and that should about do it for the first period. An entertaining first period, but no goals to be had thus far from the Minto Sports Complex. We'll be back for the intermission report and then the second period in just a moment's time. Back inside the Minto Sports Complex, Graham Naismith with Declan DeBarp alongside. 0-0 between the Ravens and the GGs through the first 20 minutes. And but it's not the only GGs action today. Quite the robust out-of-town scoreboard, Declan.
Basically feels like every GG's team was playing today. The women's soccer team took a 2-1 victory at Nipissing. Women's rugby team, as we already mentioned, won the RSEQ final today by a score of 27-12. Huge congratulations to them. Our men's football team fell by a rugby score, 12-8. In that one, the women's volleyball team lost in straight sets to Laval. Brianna and I were on the call a little earlier today for the men's hockey game. That one 4-1, and the women's basketball team fell by a score of 64-55. The one other RSEQ game in action right now sees the Stingers ahead of the Bishops University Gators after the first period by a score of 1-0.
The teams start this second period 5-on-5 as Lalonde tries to poke it free. And just as you were saying that, Declan, a couple of men's hockey players come in to support the women's team, which is always nice to see. And Kylie Lalonde trying to center it, Whitehead tight to her post.
One of them we see down there, Frankie LaPena, who had a fantastic game in net.
Merriman scores! Merriman pops the water bottle for her first regular season goal with the GGs.
Graham, she's been so impressive in all the games she's taken part of as a member of the Garnet and Grey, and finally she's rewarded. A firecracker of a player, always involved, gets to the right place at the right time.
Only 31 seconds into this second period, really the first action. We weren't even finished talking about the out-of-town scoreboard. And right now we have, can't imagine what they're debating, but yes, Merriman was very good and perhaps the most well-traveled player, Declan Kiera Merriman, in the entire country. She was born up in Nunavut. Ended up growing up in the UAE, then made her way to Wilcox, Saskatchewan to join the famed Notre Dame Hounds organization along with her brother, who's a great hockey player in his own right. Then came to Ottawa last year, joins the GGs this season, and we believe the first U Sports women's hockey player from Nunavut. We say we believe that because we haven't found another one, but if anyone knows of one, please let us know, as there's a long shot that's paddled away by Sarazan. It's loose and now gathered by Clavel. This one up for Charlie Healy. Healy across the blue line with Bilodeau. Healy with a shot up high. That one just misses. Now a penalty coming up to Clavel as the goal announcement comes in.
So a couple of debut points for the University of Ottawa. You already mentioned the goal for Cara Merriman, and Amelia Laplante inserted in the lineup today in place of Ariane Manville, and she finds a 1 point for her right away.
And Kylie Lalonde also getting credited with an assist, so it's 2-2 for her. 2 points in 2 games for Lalonde, who's off to a decent start this season. Remember, she scored that dramatic overtime winner against the Ravens in the Colonel By Classic last season.
It's been a day of firsts for the University of Ottawa. Anson McMaster got 3 assists, his first 3 points in the for the University of Ottawa.
That with the men's game, as there's one centering kicked aside by Sarazan. That a 4-1 win for the men's hockey team over Waterloo. Lengel behind the goal, grabbed by Moret. Cernuk, who had maybe the best Ravens opportunity in the first period. It was right within the first minute. Cernuk now, that one well high and wide, and it's going to ricochet all the way out of the zone. Cernuk on it once more, doubling back. And Alberta, as bodies fly. Laplante slow to get up as she was collided into by Scott. Now the puck somehow finds its way to Cernuk. Scott also gingerly making her way off the ice as it's dumped in. Maëlle Laplante back on it. Fans on the clearing attempt. Miller to the line for Ryan. Held in by Ryan. Lalonde in there as well. Birkby trying to dig it loose. Ryan pulls it out. Ryan on her backhand, around the goal, trying to jam it in, would not go, and then it's down the ice. Remember, that first Gigi's penalty kill was very, very good. This one maybe not quite as emphatic, but they've done the job through the first minute and a half.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Graham. You know, the GG's power play, penalty kill rather, was more of a power play. Much better puck movement here from the Ravens.
Ryan across the line clean with Moret. Ryan trying to take it for a lap. It's Amelia Laplante who gets it and gets it to the line, but not quite out. But then Charlie Healy has something to say about that, and she does jam it out of the zone.
Charlie Healy was almost sprung on a break if that puck got behind Miller.
And now whistle on the far side. I guess they're going to say that one was tied up, so the draw should come out of the zone. 6 seconds to go in the power play.
That'll just about do it for the Ravens' second power play of the game. It's been very, very effective killing for the University of Ottawa. What they've done really well is shift over, follow the puck as it goes, and take away all those other options. It really doesn't give many options for the Ravens, even once they set up.
Power play has expired, so it's 2 for 2 on the kill for Ottawa as Coyle taps this one into the zone. Mepfum around Sarazin's goal. Dumping it back for Beatrice Bilodeau. Up for Clavel. Great breakout that time for the GGs, and Charlie Healy dumps it in. Clavel skating it down with Bilodeau. Whitehead calm on the puck again, getting it up to Guimont. Guimont around Laplante. Guillaume then stopped by a back-checking Le Sort. This one floated in there. It's gloved down by Laplante, and then it's high off the glass. This one poked forward for Le Sort. One-on-one. Flo Le Sort working around, trying a shot, never made it through Mumford.
Laplante had the opportunity to jump up, and at the end of a shift elected to go off for a change. It would have been a 2-on-1 the other way for the University of Ottawa.
Yeah, I noticed that Amelia Laplante jumping up. Decided not to join in with Le Sort. And now there's a couple of tired legs out there for Ottawa, but Krasinski's going to be first to the puck. Krasinski wrapping it around for Gagnon. Trying to tap it forward, not quite on the mark. Lengel goes hard into the boards. And out to the far side, Le Sort with Gagnon. For Gagnon, oh, it's Biesenthal to drive. She scores!
That's what we've been waiting for. Alyssa Biesenthal opens her account this season with the University of Ottawa. It's Gagnon and Lessard who get involved in it, and this line is going to be a problem this season. Fast in transition, effective in front of the net. But when you put the puck in a dangerous area, you will get rewarded.
That one to the far side. Larkin just misses the puck. Can Taylor Scott add to the total here? Hacking away. Now it's Hyington who has to double back because Scott's in there offside, and then Hyington dumps it in. So a really ferocious start to this second period. The exact opposite of what the GGs did against the Montreal Carabins. GGs had a bit of trouble in that second period against the Carabins. So they do give the goal to that second line, so to speak. Biesenthal with the goal, and then Gagnon and Le Sort with the assist. So it's exactly as we predicted, Declan, and really a nice bit of work from that line. But can the Ravens respond?
As we predicted, maybe in a different order. They'll say that Gagnon got a touch on it as the puck went by her, but nonetheless a reward for a line that works so hard.
Spinning on a dime is, that was Beard. Haven't said her name too much today. Up for Guimont. Glove down by Daphne Lemay. They were in there offside. Now they're onside, and it's going to move free to Merriman. Merriman going to take it in herself, trying a toe drag and a shot, but it's blocked well by Miller. Merriman flying in her first shift after getting her first career conference goal. Looks like Bilodeau's going to be first to this puck. One-on-one. Bilodeau with a shot blocked by Miller. Second straight block on this shift for Peyton Miller. Long shot kicked aside by Whitehead right into the slot, but no one home in gray. That one past Krasinski, but Reedman's right there to gather it. Reedman turning up ice. Reedman's going to take it herself here. Going right to the goal, and that one couldn't get jammed in. Now another centering pass. It's loose up high. Penalty coming up, or are they going to call it a touch with a high stick? I think that's probably the right call, and it will come out of the zone.
Interesting play there from Charlie Healy as she stuck her stick right up in the air to go and bat it. If she let it fall down, it would have fallen very nicely for her.
Yeah, that one one of the more obvious calls these officials will have to make, however. Well, it was a delayed call, so it was the correct move by the official to put the arm up, but I thought they were going to call for high sticking, and I was about to say that may be a bit harsh, but in any case, here comes Cernuk in there, one-on-one. Great save by Mika Sarrazin. Stayed right with her. She moved to the backhand, and Sarrazin got the glove to it. Cole Ashbury now with a shot off the stick of Gagnon and out of play.
Post helped Sarrazin out there, but it was a breakdown, one that went right down the middle of the ice.
Draw coming to the right of Mika Sarrazin, and we look at the benches, and it's quite the juxtaposition, as there are 5 coaches and staff members on the Ravens bench. As Cernuk, again, she loves that move to her backhand, doesn't she? But Mepham stayed with her that time. Meanwhile, on the GG's bench, just 2 coaches, and Bob Bowles, the equipment manager, longtime equipment manager, as it's just Greg Bowles and Jen Wakefield behind the bench today. And on the Carleton bench, Stacey Colarossi really taking over this program and put her stamp on it. And on her bench is Jamie McDonald, who should be a very familiar name to GG's fans, as she actually played with the GG's last year. That one icing waved off, probably rightfully so, as I think Scott may have been tripped up there in front of the Ravens bench, but the arms stay down. LaPlante, long shot, deflected just wide by Scott. She had almost too much time that time, and now another opportunity for McLean that was pushed aside. GG's buzzing here through the first 10 minutes of this second period. Hyington's going to get to the puck along the dasher boards. Hyington trying to jam it down low. LaPlante steps in, and now McLean does well to back check and lift the stick. And now somehow offside there, so the draw is going to come out. And, you know, Kate McLean, I'm going to go into the history books here, Declan, and I think Kate McLean really reminds me of Quinn O'Brien of the GG's men's team a couple of years ago. A leader on the team, someone, not a center, but a winger, but really a very responsible winger. Defensively, you see her out there on the PK all the time. You saw her right there coming back, so just a responsible player. And Quinn O'Brien, as we said, well, the captain during that great 2019-20 season. And yeah, really an asset to the program. I believe he got engaged or married recently, Quinn O'Brien, from just across the river in the Gatineau area. Lalonde trying to move in there. There's a centering pass that just goes wide from Birkby. Merriman was looking for her second out in front. And now an arm goes up, so another penalty coming up for the GGs. And it's now 3-0. Oh, no, yeah, they touched that. Come on, guys, they touched that one. But it's now 3-0 on the scoreboard for penalties, a slashing call. And Jen Wakefield not happy with it.
Didn't see where it was. It was in the mess of bodies. It'll be interesting to see who they grab.
They're not even sure, which says something about the call, you'd have to think. Think it may be Reedman. No, are they calling the Ravens?
The Ravens had the puck. It's a 4-minute penalty as well.
What? Well, the Ravens took the puck all the way up ice with the official's arm raised, and Stacey Colarossi, I'd love to be down there and get an explanation of here. A miscarriage of officiating, if I've ever seen it. Makes no sense. It's a shame because the standard in the league is generally quite high, especially when you go to Quebec. You usually get the Canadian Olympic referees, actually, as Gabrielle Ariano-Lortie was there for a long time, and Melanie Bordelot, but as well as Elizabeth Mantha. Mantha does a bunch of games when they're in Quebec, but have to say this is a big mistake. In 4 minutes, I can't imagine for what.
It's an incensed referee down there. There's been a number of animated discussions that the officials have had.
Yeah.
But it, nonetheless, is Peyton Miller, who's had such a fantastic game, going off to serve for 4 minutes.
Yeah, we need Manon Lacasse out there to sort things out to referee this one. So it looks like they're going to set up the draw to the left of Whitehead, and I think the confusion up here is the Ravens were stick handling the puck, and they had the puck for like half the ice, and it wasn't blowing down. And now Miller's out of the box. They're still setting up that face-off to the left of Whitehead, which it shouldn't be, because then it should be in the neutral zone if there's no penalty. we'll see if and Krasinski getting an explanation as well as Beard. And yeah, now our minor officials want an explanation in any case. So we were talking about Avi Malotny before, and she's now playing in Modo in Sweden. And Modo is a name that should be familiar for hockey fans, as that's the club team in Sweden that's produced just an alarming amount of like really good players. They're from a very, very small town up north of about 30,000, and they've produced the Sedin twins, Peter Forsberg, Marcus Naslund, Victor Hedman, and so it's a name that should be familiar for hockey fans, and having Malotny playing out there. I believe Jen Wakefield actually may have played for that team as well on the women's side, and we specify the women's side because Jen Wakefield did play men's hockey in Sweden in the 3rd division for a bit. And so now they've given a 4-minute penalty to Clavel, so I'm not quite sure what's going on here. In any case, which I mean, and it's actually, so they have Clavel on the board, but it's Kylie Lalonde who goes off. So we'll get this sorted out from our, I mean, I guess they mixed up the teams there, but in any case, a 4-minute power play coming up here for the Ravens. So a huge opportunity. Penalties now 4-0 in favor of the Ravens, but remember that GG's kill has been very good, and they'll certainly be put through their paces here, and they get off to a great start. Angie Plouk clearing it down the ice.
Especially after such a lengthy delay, that opening faceoff is always so important. Make sure you win it. Make sure you get the puck down the other end of the ice. And Alex Clavel, whose number was up for a little bit of time, gets after that one.
And remember, Lalonde is one of the penalty killers for Ottawa. Lengel across to the far side. Byrne. Long shot, steered aside by Saracen. Lengel follows up. Great block by Bilodeau, who's going to take off down ice. Whitehead stays home. Bilodeau's going to be in one-on-one here as she stick handles in and shoots. Good save by Whitehead.
She had some space to move in a little closer, maybe make a move, but Beatrice Bilodeau with a nice shot. Nice attentive play to get back the other way.
Beard stepping in, has it roll off her stick. Laplante banks it forward. McLean not quite going to get there ahead of Miller. First minute of the 4 pretty much gone here. We still haven't received confirmation exactly what the penalty was for. Lalonde has 2 minutes for slashing and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike, according to a word we just received. In any case, 4 minutes and, well, one of them's gone. Metfam now behind the goal. This one for Ryan. Banking it back. That's Beck. Ava Beck spinning on a dime. Has her pocket picked by Amelia Laplante. Now McLean slaps it off the dasher boards and down. 2:30 to go in the Lalonde penalties. And there's Cecilia Lopez. I don't think we've said her name in this second period until now. Ryan moving up, but no, it's off the stick, or over the stick, we should say, and Birkby gets it. Taking her time and then lofts it down just side of the goal of Whitehead. Now, Birkby gets shoved to the ice right in front of the GG's bench. No call. Official was looking the other way. Those are always rough ones for the officials when it's right in front of the bench, but you don't see it because, of course, the bench is going to be up in arms. Here they come now, shorthanded. Lasalle, certainly a penalty there as she was held up by Miller. And now the arms go up, so the officiating coming into question. Wonder if that one could have been a penalty shot.
Should have been a penalty shot. Florence Lassard was loose.
I guess they're arguing she still got the attempt off, so they're just going to get Miller for the hold, but one of the more obvious calls the officials will have to make. And now Lalonde. So Lalonde wants to come out here, but because they're both to her, don't think she should be. If it was like a 2 and a 10, then they would have, a player serving. But in any case, so it's going to be a very extended stretch here of actually 4-on-4, Declan, for 1:55, and then 5 seconds of GG's power play time.
And I think that this really benefits the University of Ottawa to have all this open ice. They're a team that can fly, a team that's known for their speed, known for their tenacity.
And they've got Bilodeau out there right now, who's one of the faster players in the conference. Larkin mishandles the puck, but then looks like she may be able to negotiate her way out of it as she takes a tumble off Riedman. That one all the way down the ice. Icing waved off. Krasinski's in a foot race with Cernuk. Krasinski lifting the sticks. Cernuk gets there first. That one chipped free. Stepping up is Cole Ashbury. Cole Ashbury with a low shot. Swallowed up by Sarrazin, who holds things. 1:20 to go in 4-on-4.
Michaela Krasinski did a good job to get back there. She was second favorite in that foot race, but took a very optimal puck route and then pinned her man against the boards.
Krasinski actually with the hardest shot on the team. It was measured last season, flirting with the low 70s. So a heavy shot from Krasinski, not known for her goal scoring. Stepping away here. Moving up, it's Merriman. She opened the scoring for the GGs. Merriman still going, but Cole Ashbury did a nice job of forcing her to the side. Prue. Dropping it off. Laplante gets it to Prue. Shoots. Good save by Whitehead. It's loose at the side of the goal. Whitehead down. And they're going to blow it dead as Whitehead pounces on it.
A great burst of speed there from Merriman, and Laplante really smart to fake the shot. All of the Ravens moved over it, opened it right up for the University of Ottawa, and then a great save there by Whitehead. The GGs have been playing with some confidence of late.
Whitehead has been beaten twice, however, today by Kiera Merriman as well as Alyssa Biesenthal. That is the 2-goal lead for Ottawa. Both goals coming early in this second period, and there's still 50 seconds of 4-on-4. Then Lalonde will exit the box. Lengel. Lengel stick handles in. Sharp angle shot. Easy pickings that time for Sarrazin. Off the boards, Birkby touches it up for Merriman. Merriman one-on-one here, keeping on her forehand. Merriman trying to jam it in. Whitehead tight to her post, and it's going to be frozen, and faceoff coming to the left.
You would have expected Justina Larkin to have played that one better. She gave so much space to Merriman, especially as she's the offhanded. I don't know if she thought that there was a GG coming down with her, but it was a clear one-on-one. She gave her too much room, didn't angle her out, and it's a good shot there by Merriman.
Scramble draw back to Laplante. To the far side, Reese Metfum. Will she tee it up? No, puts it into the middle for Biesenthal as one of the GGs is dumped in front of the goal. It's McLean. Now moving up, Ryan. Ryan with Lopez. Lopez trying to work her way around Laplante. Lopez is loose now at the side of the goal, but the puck's to the point. Reese Ashbury. 10 seconds till Lalonde exits the box. That one shot into the glove of Sarrazin. And you mentioned Larkin. She transferred up from RIT and is actually an Ottawa product. She played with the Lady Sens on really a loaded Lady Sens team. They had Osborne, who's one of the top goaltenders in the NCAA now. They also had Kylie Lalonde, Caitlin Whitehead, and Mira Ryan. So quite a few connections to that Lady Senators team of a couple of years ago in this game.
And a lot of RIT products that have played in the Ottawa area, played for the University of Ottawa.
Yep, Taylor Sims, one of them. And Kylie Lalonde, another. Gagnon in there. Oh, it just rolls off her stick. Unfortunate, as she would have been in and just onside. Did really well to keep herself onside, but she's back on the puck here. Ariane Gagnon trying to center it. Just misses Clavel. So now all the penalties are off the board, so we're back to 5-on-5 hockey with 7 minutes and change to go. Moving in, Beard with a shot. It's loose at the side of the net. Arm goes up, and Guimond touches it. They're going to get head contact on... I think they said 21, so that's going to be Daphne Lemay.
Looks like they're pulling off 28, which is Victoria Bullock.
No, okay, I miss her, but it is Bullock who goes off. So kind of similar, I suppose, to the Biesenthal penalty early on, where it was just kind of a nothing thing sort of behind the play. But here we go for the first GG's power play of the game. Although I suppose that 5-second stretch there after the 4-on-4 is technically a power play, which isn't going to help the percentages, but first real power play, and the draw's one. Prue working the point with Merriman. Prue over to Kiera Merriman, but it's just off the mark. Birkby's going to go in and try to hunt it down. Gagnon around the goal. Back now for Prue. Merriman. Three right-handed shots, rather. Actually, 4 right-handed shots out there right now for Ottawa. Only lefty is Catherine Birkby. This one free. Merriman, can she walk in? She does, and that low shot goes wide. Active bounce off the boards, and then it flies right over and then out of the zone by Lemay.
We haven't mentioned it too much, but the GGs without Jay Todd, who was a huge part of their power play. Todd and Prue had some excellent chemistry in the game against Montreal. They had a number of looks, just couldn't find the back of the net.
Laplante takes it herself and just fires it wide. Clavel fresh off the bench, but then Laplante loses her stick, unfortunately, and it's down the ice. Clavel, another one who was strong on the power play last year for Ottawa. Had a nice little move where she would kind of maneuver off the goal line for an opportunity down low. We'll see if maybe it's a new look power play, however, with this coaching staff. Laplante with Clavel. And a bit of a postage stamp. Now it's out of the zone by Cernuk, and Cernuk can fly as she moves in, and Riedman does really well to tie her up. Arms stay down, clean checking there, but only 30 seconds to go in the power play. Riedman up for Biesenthal, leaves the puck behind as she loses the glove and her stick. Laplante to the near side. Clavel's going to get on it. Chips it in with 15 seconds to go in the power play. Lengel tied up along the near side boards. Biesenthal in there as well as the penalty's about to expire. Still in the corner, it's Berta who gets it loose. This one down for Clavel. At the hash marks, no one home in the middle, so she doubles back. Hyington shoots. Oh, that one not far away as Whitehead was moving the wrong way.
It's a great play from Alex Clavel there. She did everything to buy some time and space, and I don't know if she knew if Hyington was there, but it was an excellent pass.
Shots, by the way, in the first period were 6-6. I'd be curious to see what they are now as both teams getting opportunities, two of which have found the back of the net for the University of Ottawa. Sauce to Peyton Miller. And that one moved down low. So after all of that slowdown with the penalties, Whistle suddenly at a premium here as it's open play at the Minto Sports Complex with a 2-0 lead for the University of Ottawa. Can Merriman get around Miller? Not quite, as she gets it to Cole Ashbury. Merriman tracking her down, though. And if she can poke it forward to Lalonde, there could be something on here. Kylie Lalonde with Birkby. Lalonde shoots. It's loose in the crease, trying to jam it in. No signal from the referee. Now it is signaled a goal for the University of Ottawa. GG's. Birkby should get credit.
Birkby should get credit, but we cannot be remiss to mention the play of Kiara Merriman. She'll definitely get a point for this one. She starts it here with a great back check to win.
Right at Whitehead, but she spilled it, and it was sitting there in the crease, and it was either Lalonde or Birkby who poked it in. We'll await the call. In any case, it's Kylie Lalonde's second point of the game. Byrne can't quite get it on there. Krasinski, this line stays out there of Merriman, Lalonde, and Birkby. Lalonde tied up by Lengel. Arms stay down. Birkby wheeling around, can't center it. Birkby still on it. That may be an errant pass. This is picked up by Lopez. Lopez backhands it by Prou. Lopez in there with Beck.
GG's goal. GG scored by number 26, Catherine Birkby. Assisted by number 22, Heidi Lalonde.
Is there something else on here? It's Lalonde again, but she can't quite wheel around. So Declan, if I heard correctly, it was Birkby from Lalonde and nothing more.
Yeah, no point for Merriman. I think she's hard done not to get a point there.
Around the goal, Beatrice Bilodeau. That one lofted towards the goal, kicked away by LeMay. Now trying to move it in there, and Clavel with a shot looking for that postage stamp, but can't quite find it. Healy to skate it down. Haven't said the name of Flo Lassalle recently. We'll see if she can get back out there, and that one through Laplante and out of the zone. Both Laplantes out there now, Amelia and Maëlle. Maëlle to Amelia. Forward for Gagnon. Now Lassalle is over the boards as Gagnon takes her player hard into the end boards. To the point, Laplante looking for a deflection from Lassalle. She was tied up, however. Coyle would have been loose through the middle, but it was a good step by Maëlle Laplante.
Dangerous play there from the University of Ottawa as she steps up. Never afraid to go for a little pinch. Rewarded there.
Mepthum misses everyone. Icing signaled. Is Gagnon going to do enough? Won't matter. Whitehead's out of her goal. Meisner has her pocket picked by Biesenthal. Biesenthal centering it. Lassalle right there. Can't quite get her stick down, and it's loose to the near side. Krasinski's going to be the first to the puck. Michaela Krasinski shooting. It's off the leg and wide. Right off the bench. Another drive just goes wide. It was Kate McLean. Skated off the bench and found the puck right on her stick. Lofted down low. Lassalle trying to skate it down. Trips over. Couple of players fall down, and Biesenthal with an opportunity right on. Swallowed up by Whitehead, who has a whack at Biesenthal for her effort.
that almost a Roman drama as two Ravens collided with each other. The seas open for Alyssa Biesenthal. She would have been favorite there, bearing down on it. But a good save there by Merriman. It's good forechecking from the University of Ottawa that gives that opportunity. GG's the best second period team in the conference last year. They outscored teams 28-3 in the period.
That really was the hallmark of their play last year, where, you know, after the first period it was usually pretty tight, and then going into the second it was all right, who's going to score? Hyington, loose pucks. Taylor Scott can't quite get on there. Ice tilted slightly for the GGs recently, but can the Ravens say something about that? Ryan didn't get that centering pass on target, and it's a shortstop catch that time for Sarrazin.
There's a really good hustle back there from Hyington, trying to make an impact in tonight's game with Jade Todd not playing. She gets back, allows Kathleen Riedman to take away the pass, and then it's a pocket picked by Hyington to prevent a high danger scoring opportunity.
Dying moments here of the second period. Can the Ravens pull one back? LeMay's shot not going to get through Merriman. There's a shot up high. Saracen saw it at the last minute, and it is wide. Merriman, that one into the skates of LaPlante, who again stepped up. Birkby all the way back to cover for the defender who's pinched. Birkby along the dasher boards. Lalonde just touches it out, and LeMay with a bit of time to operate. Inside the final minute of this second period, 3-0 for the University of Ottawa. Great forecheck here. And then they're tied up. It was Merriman again who's getting in there. She's all over the place. Healy doubling back for Catherine Birkby. I think that one may have hit Merriman and never made it through. LaPlante holds the line. Merriman down low, tireless on the forecheck, trying to reverse it back. Don't think anyone was ready for that. Pooh, can she get a shooting lane? Instead elects to throw it through the middle. LeMay swiped at it. Bullock off the boards. Bouncing puck again gathered by Bullock. And it's a 2-on-2 here. Bullock and Beck. Pooh steps up, gets the stick in there, falls down. And it's going to find its way to Alex Clavel inside the final 10 seconds. That one rimmed around. Oh, very dangerous play. And it's Healy who muscles it away, and that'll do it for this second period. Goals from Merriman, Biesenthal, and Birkby. It's a 3-0 lead for the University of Ottawa. This time we will be back for an intermission report from the Minto Sports Complex. Here for our second intermission report, Graham Naismith with Declan DeVarp alongside, and 3 goals in the second period for the GGs. What really stood out for you in that second 20 minutes?
It was an offensive explosion, and if we're going to highlight one player, it should be Kiara Merriman, the product of Nunavut. She was everywhere. Obviously her first goal for the University of Ottawa, bearing down, and a rifle of a shot as we just take a look at it now. It's a beautiful shot by Merriman. And then she doesn't get awarded with an assist on the goal we're seeing right here. Sorry, this is the second goal we're seeing, not involved, but it's an excellent play, and it's Biesenthal getting rewarded. But Merriman, as we take a look at the third goal, right now. She wins the puck back and does everything.
This is another opportunity, but a good save from Sarazan in any case.
Yeah, great save from Sarazan. But Merriman, as we see just outside the frame, wins the puck back. And that is Kylie Lalonde, who's able to pick up the assist, her second point of the game, her third assist. But it's been Merriman who's been all over. And it's been the rookies as a whole who have impressed. Lassard gets an assist as well. It's been a team, and especially the rookies, who've been dogged. They've been explosive, and they've been rewarded with the goals.
Yeah, large recruiting class this year for the University of Ottawa, and they're really paying dividends here. That second goal was really quite something, with Biesenthal connecting with Lessard and Gagnon. I think we have to talk about the PK, because 4 for 4, a couple of extended power plays, as a matter of fact. And you mentioned it was a bit weaker maybe last season, but it's really stepped up from the looks of things so far this year.
Yeah, and it's been a little bit of a change in personnel, a lot of trust, especially on the back end. But this GG's penalty kill unit has been night and day, and they've been excellent. And what they do so well is limiting time and space and opportunities. We saw against Montreal, there were periods where they dropped off. They allowed Montreal a little bit too much time. They're not doing it here tonight. You could argue they've been the better team when shorthanded compared to Carleton, especially after the confusion, the 4-minute double minor that goes the way of the Carleton Ravens. The GGs have bossed the penalty kill, and especially when their power play is not operating at where it was 5% last season. And this season, it's still getting going. The penalty kill has bailed them out, and it's been, the veteran players who have stood up, the Alex Clavels, the Beatrice Billados, who have been able to limit time, limit opportunities, and they've been rewarded going the other way.
We'll see if the GGs can close it out, a 3-goal lead heading to the third. We'll be back in about 15 minutes from the Minto Sports Complex. Back for the third period from the Minto Sports Complex. Graham Naismith alongside Declan DeBarp. Teams are going to start this third period 5-on-5, and the GG start with a 3-0 lead. Goals all coming in the second period, and they have changed that third goal, Declan. Actually, almost a complete change. So Kylie Lalonde gets the goal. Catherine Birkby gets an assist, and they are going to add an assist for Kira Merriman. So 2-point night for Merriman, 2-point night for Lalonde, and it's a 3-point lead for the University of Ottawa.
A much-deserved point there, a much-deserved assist for Kira Merriman, might I add.
As this one's to the near side, that's Birkby, who had the goal taken away, who can't quite get on the puck. Merriman trying to lift the stick, poking it forward. On the far side is Krasinski. Now on is Birkby with that fresh ice, and that one up into the rafters. It is the second game on the ice today, Declan, as the men's team played against Waterloo earlier. So the rink crew really putting in work between the two games to make sure that it's up to standard.
And we've already mentioned that game, but it was a heck of a game. The GGs came out and they bounced back. It's been a tough start for them, but perfect on home ice for the University of Ottawa men's hockey team.
Yep, 3 for 3 on home ice for the men's team as they're gearing up to host the U Sports National Championship in 2025. And this one is tied up, and that will be held at the arena at TD Place. And speaking of the arena at TD Place, the Colonel By Classic for the women will be held there in a couple of weeks. Tickets are on sale. The game, of course, formerly known as the Alerts Cup. That one goes on Sunday, November 19th. It's a midday game starting at 3 p.m., but tickets are on sale for the Women's Colonel By Classic. Last season, it was a double header with the men's team, and it was just a lot of hockey in one day, so they decided to separate them as Whitehead steers the puck to the near side.
And it'll be our fine school who puts on that game. We trade every single year, and it'll be one that I'm very excited to be on the mic for.
Yep, you should be on there with Brianna Newell as Cecilia Lopez moves in. Open shooting lane right into the breadbasket of Sarrazin.
That was too easy for Lopez. She just kept her path through, hot off the bench, couldn't stop up and open the shooting lane for her in the slot. One she'd want back, I think.
Draw coming to the left of Sarrazin. And it's one clean by Biesenthal. Penalty there. Oh, no penalty coming up. Beard working her way around. That one grabbed by Prou with a nice move, a nice juke to get it to Gagnon. Up for Lessard. Lessard saucing it for Prou, who had her stick lifted. Gagnon attempting to dig it loose and get it to Maya Laplante. Angelique Prou dumping it down low for Lessard to chase. Whoa, stick all the way out of the hands there of Mumford, and then Lessard takes a tumble, and it's going to be a hand pass called on Lessard.
So after a second period where we saw a number of penalties, the whistle seemed to have gone away here in the third period. And we'll just quickly take an update at the out-of-town scoreboard. We had mentioned the Concordia Stingers leading 1-0 after the first period. The Stingers have doubled their advantage over the Bishops University Gators. That one now 2-0.
And by the way, the shots in this one in the second period, 12-8 in favor of Ottawa. So the total coming into this third period was 18-14 again in favor of the University of Ottawa. But as Coyle's going to chase down the puck here, can't get it through, and Laplante picks it up. Looking for Scott to turn it around. She takes a tumble. Larkin muscling it behind the goal. And now that one is high and out of play. So you have to say for the Ravens all of a sudden, through essentially two periods of this game and 3 in the last one, so 5 periods, let's call it, they've given up 10 goals. So that really looking like an issue for them. And they do have Whitehead in goal, but I mean, it's a worrying start to the season on that front, you'd have to think.
Something for Stacey Colarossi and Jamie McDonald to work through. It's too many goals as the GGs come again.
Merriman snapping one. It's spilled by the goaltender Whitehead. Merriman just going to go for a lap here. Still on it. She'll shoot. Kicked aside by Sydney Berta, who has a Swiss passport, and here comes Cernuck. Cernuck's going to be in one-on-one. Takes a shot, whistles it wide. There was a hard back check put on by the University of Ottawa, that may have partly disrupted Cernak, who's had a couple of one-on-one opportunities today.
That 1-1 she has to put in the back of the net.
Yeah, that would have really changed the complexion of this game.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Graham. She didn't even hit the net, and Mahika Sarazin wasn't forced to make a save. She hasn't been tested very often, has Sarazin. We've mentioned only 14 shots through 2 periods. But the Ravens have had opportunities, particularly off the stick of Cernak.
And it was a pedestrian second period, you could say, for Sarazin, as the action was at the other end of the ice, and that puck hit something on the Ottawa bench. The GG's next game against the Ravens, they play 5 this season. The next one's on Saturday, November 4th. It's actually the Melissa Kingsley Memorial Game, where they start collecting donations for the MK23 scholarship. And a portion of the proceeds from that game going to the scholarship, which benefits a player on the University of Ottawa GG's women's hockey team. And a lot of the work is actually done in the summer with the Women's Hockey Academy up in Sudbury, which is where Melissa Kingsley was from, as well as the McGaughey twins, Megan and Taylor, who I believe hold a golf tournament and do a lot of fundraising for that scholarship, really keeping it alive. And also on that day, it's actually a reunion for the 2003-04 University of Ottawa GG's women's team, the team that finished second at the University, or well, I guess back then it was CIS National Championship, and we see the banner just to our left. That the only time the GGs have won a conference title. And so a couple of players flying in from out of town for that one with their families, so it should be a fun day, an alumni game taking place before the main event, if you will, between the GGs and the Ravens. Here comes Lasalle, looking to make it 4. Her stick's lifted by Larkin. Mepfum muscles it back behind the net. Lasalle trying to dig it loose. Biesenthal twists around, falls down. One-on-one here for Lasalle. It's a good save by Whitehead. She was almost a bit too close that time. Gagnon. Long shot, glove down and loose, and that's pounced on by Whitehead. It was Amelia Laplante who took the shot.
Whitefield, after starting the game with very solid rebound control, has spilled a number of opportunities there as we just see a couple members of the GG's women's rugby team walking in with their gold medals. A huge congratulations to them once again.
That's Tylo Borsboom and Farida El Sharkawi. And won that conference gold medal up at the University of Laval earlier today. And they'll go into the national championship at Laval, most likely as the number 2 seed in the country. That championship getting going not this coming weekend, but the one after that. McLean looking to stand the Ravens up at the line. Bullock kicking it in, and penalty behind the play. Looks like they're getting Biesenthal for the second time today, this time for body contact, and we'll look it up, but I don't think Biesenthal took many penalties at all last year.
I want to say 4 minutes in penalties for Alyssa Biesenthal last season.
No, she took a few more than that, 12 according to the statistics there, but not a player who was penalized terribly often, and she's got 4 penalty minutes today. So the GGs look to kill off the 5th penalty that they will have to combat here. And it's going to be Angie Poo who has to step in to take the draw, the defender, and she wins it. They battle in the corner for it now. Poo holding 2 Ravens off all by herself. Byrne trying to muscle it around. Moret centering it in front. It's loose. Here comes Beck with a shot right into the glove. Or excuse me, it was Byrne who shot it right into the glove of Sarazin.
Not one that Byrne got all of. She'll want that one back. It sat nicely. On that one as well.
20 seconds gone in the Biesenthal penalty. And this one down the ice by Reese Mepfum. Whitehead looking over her shoulder and zipping it around to Lopez. Kicked forward by Ryan right to Clavel. Didn't get all of that one, but does get it out of the neutral zone. Rolling puck down. Laplante spins and fires it. Held in by Ryan. Beck now. Mepfum ties her up and shows her to the boards. Miller dropping it off. Berta to the far side. Getting it back now, Sydney Berta. She'll shoot. Sarazan saw nothing of it. It's loose, and Sarazan gets down. to pounce on the in-close opportunity from Beck.
It's a phenomenal save there from Hikaceres, and her initial movement took her away from that one, and Beck to the backhand was always favored there, but it's a sensational save from the University of Ottawa netminder.
A minute to go in the Biesenthal penalty. Scramble draw. Finally, it's kicked loose by Krasinski, who hammers it all the way around, but it's only going to make it as far as Cernuk. Cernuk tied up by her opposite number, Charlie Healy. Riedman over to help out. Now moving it back and pulling it out. Lengel to Byrne. Byrne flutters it towards goal. It's kicked back for Lengel. In her skates, she gets it out. Byrne. Over for Cernuk at the hash marks. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Guimont. She's battling with Riedman. Cernuk in there to help. Riedman falls down onto the puck, but keeps moving. The official right on the scene, and now he does blow it down. 10 seconds to go in the power play.
It's been a much better power play here from the Ravens. They've actually been able to get some offensive zone time in this period, but still a very solid kill for the University of Ottawa. Timeout here now taken by Stacey Colarossi. And it looks like we're going to get a penalty.
Actually, a penalty. It's Moret who goes off, and I think so. The T there, so I assume you saw the official making the T gesture. You'd think it was for timeout, but it's actually for unsportsmanlike. So there goes Moret to the box. So 10 seconds of 4-on-4, and then a minute 50 of power play time for the GGs. Berkey loses that draw, and it's out of the zone. Rolling down, icing waved off. And so actually works out for the GGs because Biesenthal will come out of the box. She actually goes to the bench, and off the bench is Gagnon. So the penalty, or excuse me, the power play rather, is out there with Berkby moving it forward. Berkby skips past. Along the boards for Amelia Laplante. Laplante spinning around, getting it to Berkby. Ooh, that pass left a bit to be desired. It's off the stick of Beard. Smooth break in here. Laplante, backhander, almost caught Whitehead leaning the long way, and then a sharp angle shot by Berkby won't go. Merriman for Prou. And Laplante just has it roll over her stick, and then she goes crashing in there. Actually kind of took out Gagnon that time, and it's down the ice. A minute to go in the power play.
Laplante with a tough shift there. A number of opportunities that I think that she'll want back, but a golden opportunity for the GGs to further extend their lead, but also kill off a little bit more time.
Bilodeau taking it herself with Biesenthal. Bilodeau takes it around the goal and gets it to Clavel. To the point for Riedman. Laplante, Biesenthal through the middle, loose puck, good save by Whitehead. Took it away from Clavel, 30 seconds to go in the power play. Maëlle Laplante. To the point, Kathleen Riedman. Back for Laplante to walk in. Gets it to Biesenthal. Couldn't center it, but now makes its way towards the goal. Bouncing towards the Ravens bench and hammered back in. Clavel at the hash marks. 10 seconds to go in the power play as Laplante gets it. Back for Clavel in her skates. Can she walk in? She shoots. Good block that time by Ryan. Penalty has expired. Back to even strength. Riedman throwing it to Biesenthal. She scores! Right as the power play expires, Biesenthal one-times it past Whitehead, and it's 4-0 Ottawa.
What did I say earlier? Alyssa Biesenthal scores in bunches. That her second goal of the game, a tight angle shot that she's just able to beat Whitehead with, one that Whitehead will want back. Alyssa Biesenthal with that elite release, and the GGs hard done not to get a power play goal. They still look for their first power play goal of the season.
A de facto power play goal, you could say, as the Ravens player who was coming out of the box wasn't really able to get into the play. And great vision as well from Riedman, you have to say, to find Biesenthal. That's Laplante getting in there, and we've seen, or excuse me, no, it was Riedman actually, and now that pass just out of the reach of Beard. So it was Amelia Laplante who I think has really come onto the game. She seemed to only take a couple of shifts in the first period, but since then she's really been out there for a consistent shift, and now a penalty on Reese Metfum. It's going to be boarding. Don't see that call every day, but Metfum goes off. 6th power play now for the Ravens.
And Reese Meffam clearly not happy with that one, just going for a pin. Brought a little bit too much force into that one. The GGs, after extending their lead, have another penalty to kill. There's more than enough time for the Ravens to get back into this one if they can stitch together a couple of goals in succession.
Yeah, and right now, if this makes sense, I think the GGs are more concerned about the 0 than getting to 5, as they'd probably prefer to keep the shutout and really make a statement than, go and run it up. But we'll see what they can do here on the PK. Who to Maëlle Laplante. Not out of the zone. Berta turning, and that's poked out by Laplante. So Lopez stick handles in. Lopez loses it briefly in her skates. Mira Ryan spinning around, centering it right there, and Sarazan with a baseball catch.
Nice catch there by Sarazan, just the confirmation of the goal. So Alyssa Biesenthal's 2nd goal of the game, 2nd goal of the year as well. Maëlle Laplante gets her first point in the Garnet and Gray, and Kathleen Reedman, who you were singing the praises of, gets the secondary assist.
I think they may have inverted those, but in any case, I think the credit was given correctly. So the GG's starting to get on the score sheet here. They only got 1 against Montreal, but a couple of players opening their accounts for this season. Walking in, Byrne, great block by Krasinski, and another block by Krasinski. Byrne gets it back, throws it in there, loose puck. Good save by Sarazan. She got the blocker up. Now McLean's without a stick, but it won't matter as Hidington takes Lengel into the boards. 52 seconds to go in the power play.
Sorry, Graham, it was a good hard push there from the GG's netminder. She doesn't fill up too much of the frame, just the 5'4" Mahika Sarazan.
She's done the job today, however, and she's done it well throughout her GG's career. Bit of traffic in front of her now, though. Centering pass. Oh, she kept another one out, getting across. It was a bit of an off-kilter shot by Cernak. I thought it was going to squeak right through the 5 holes. It was another strong push by Sarazan, but she did get across to keep it out.
Somehow, some way, Mahika Sarazan always finds a way to keep the puck out of the back of her net. Statistically, the best goalkeeper in the division last year when looking at save percentage, a .948 in her GG's career. Very tough backup behind Aurélie Dubuc. She's proving why she should have had the starting job.
Yeah, and there was only 1 off game for her last season. It was at Montreal, when I think they put 4 past her. But if that game wasn't into the equation, which, well, it is, you can't just take it out. But, if that game hadn't gotten out of hand, so to speak, she actually would have been up there for a bit of a Peter Forsberg reverse check there by Lopez. And now Laplante stands her up. Physicality starting to amp up here at the Minto Sports Complex. And now another penalty, that one of the more obvious ones, as Ryan had the stick slashed right out of her hands by LaSalle. So Metfum exits the box. They won't even close the door as LaSalle's going right in.
7 power plays we're at for the Carleton Ravens. It's been a day of practice for the University of Ottawa's power play. For the University of Ottawa's penalty kill.
Yeah, and when it's that elevated, it can really be the difference in a game. I mean, it's tough to say that when it's a 4-0 score, but that can really make a difference in a game if it's, 7 power plays. Still only the 1 for the University of Ottawa. Byrne. Now it's loose in the middle. Sarazan's on it somewhere in there, and now bodies flying. Oh, I think Metfum's going off again as Metfum shoved a player onto Sarazan, so we might see an extended 5-on-3 here unless the officials are trying to even it out.
The arm shot right up right away, and Reese Meffam took exception.
Yeah, and it is her, so it's going to be 1 minute and 50 seconds of 5-on-3. Huge opportunity here for the Ravens to maybe claw their way back in here.
Carleton need 1, if not 2, on this power play. 2 very important penalty killers in the box. Are they going to grab 2 GGs?
No, I think Hidington's just heading. Oh, yeah, they are going to.
I wouldn't be surprised if they all.
Wow, it's Laplante, actually. Jeez.
Carleton Ravens.
Well, and here's the thing. So we were accused, timeout taken now by the Ravens. We were accused of bashing the officials earlier in the game, and that's not our intention. It was, when there was that weird double minor situation, it's a confusing moment for everyone, and not our intention to degrade the officials in any case. So, we apologize if it came off that way. But, it was a confusing moment in the moment. And now the GG. So, a minute 50 to go in the Lessard penalty. And the official actually now in the scorer's bench to get right on top of our minor officials.
I don't know if they're talking to the minor officials or to the GGs. Reese Meffam still talking with the officials.
And I'm not sure that does much. Look, where we've got students working the bench and they're doing their best, and I'm not sure talking down at them like that is the best way to solve things. But in any case, so 71 is up on the board now for 2 minutes, so it's going to be at least a minute 50 seconds of 5-on-3. Assuming Lessard comes out after 150, it would then probably be 10 seconds of 5-on-3, and then it would be a power play, I assume. But we'll see. We'll see how they solve it here. Not a fan of the referee going over and talking to the minor official like that. That I am gonna not be happy about. But anything else, not our intention to bash them.
And they're still going. But I don't know how you don't take two in that situation. How you don't find a Raven who's doing something. It's obviously something that provoked a response.
Yeah. So it's actually going to be it's going to be 9 power plays now, or 9 penalties, we should say. They won't all result in power plays necessarily, as we'll get confirmation. 5-on-3 here for the Ravens for a minute 40 seconds. Peyton Miller on the puck. Lopez. Oh, Bilodeau pinched there and almost got the puck. Miller walking in, shooting, blocked in front, and then it just squirts wide. So slashing penalty to Lessard. Well, that was the older one, as our PA announcer Andrew Pennant just sorting through all of it, and that's another good save from Sarrazin. Cernak didn't get all of it. Walking in now, Cernak shoots, hits something in front, it's loose and down the ice by Clavel. A 4-minute penalty to Reese Meffam. Wow. As this one's kicked aside by Sarrazin. Meffam's not even in the, or she is in the box, so she got a 4-minute power play. So the Ravens might end this game on the power play here. This one down the ice as Meffam's penalty will only start, I believe, when Lessard exits the box in 40 seconds, and it's 4 minutes. So the Ravens will be on the power play, assuming there's no goals, until the final 3 minutes of this game. You wonder why Colarossi doesn't pull her goaltender right now.
It's a real chance for the Ravens. A real chance for the Ravens.
Saucer pass to Berta. 26 seconds to go in this 5-on-3. Ryan throwing it to the far side, handled by Beard. For Guimont from Kirkland Lake, Ontario. Lengel. Beard shooting, great block by Birkby, and she pays the price to do so. She's down in a heap. Lessard about to exit the box, so we'll see what happens here. Berta. Ryan jumps in. She's onside. So Lessard's penalty's ended, but she hasn't been allowed to exit the boxes now. It's going to be an extended 5-on-3. Shot by Beard is picked up by Sarrazin. So there's 1 second left in Laplante's penalty. So I think Lessard can exit now because her penalty's over. Laplante will exit in 1 second, and then it's going to be 3 minutes and 50 seconds of power play time, just 5-on-4. So confusing, but we solved it.
So Reese Meffam got 4 minutes for head contact. That the call for her, just getting our signals straight. Amelia Laplante 2 minutes for cross-checking. And then, as you already mentioned, Florence Lessard, the 2-minute minor for slashing that started all of this.
So now that's expired. So now it is going to be a power play for 3 minutes and about 45 seconds now, or less. Shot by Lopez, briefly spilled, and then pounced on by Sarrazin. And you see the GGs maybe learning their lesson there the hard way and not getting involved with any of the afters.
Tempers flare when these two teams usually play each other. This a particularly extreme display of that indiscipline by the GGs, but it's been incredible penalty killing from them today. You have to give them all the credit. The GGs, the Ravens, really going to rue the chances that they had. They had a golden opportunity to get back into this one and couldn't capitalize on a basically 2-minute. Wow, what a save by Sarrazin.
Another one by Sarrazin, taking it away from Cernak. And they're going to get a fresh set of power play specialists out there, are the Ravens.
The Ravens just have shown no desire to take the puck into the middle of the ice. Happy to pass the puck around to the outside and haven't really challenged Mika Sarrazin. You got to credit those GG penalty killers, but you know, if you're Colarossi on the Ravens bench, you got to take a long, hard look.
Yeah, and I suppose with 4 goals, there's no. I mean, I don't know. Like with 7 minutes to go, 8 minutes to go, knowing that you're going to have such a long power play, whether it be 5-on-3 or 5-on-4, I'm wondering why you don't pull the goaltender. Like you were going to have a minute or 2 minutes almost of 5-on-3. Like I don't. I mean, I suppose 4 goals, it may be a bit much, but it was really an opportunity. I think even if you say, okay, we can get it to like 4-2, it could really change the complexion there late. But the goaltender, Whitehead, did stay in, and there's still 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third period. Moret shooting, and it just goes wide for the rebound.
She had a pass at the back door and elected to look off, did Jenna Moret. It was Meisner who was all alone.
Yeah, and Meisner almost got on it anyways. There's a shot taken by Sarrazin again. 2:44 to go in Metfum's double minor. One credit to Mika Sarrazin. She's always so cool. She's so focused. She actually gets set up for the face-off, sometimes even before the referee's ready. So, you know, any of the afters that's taking place in her crease just is over her head. Mumford for Cole Ashbury. That one stopped by Sarrazin. Krasinski throws her stick at the puck. Can't get a piece of it. Ryan working around, centering pass, another good save by Sarrazin. Her positioning has been spot on today.
You know, I think that she has the potential to be one of the best goalies in this conference. She's led statistically, but you look at her positional sense, the way she reads the game. She's so calm, she's so cool, as you mentioned just a moment ago, but nothing phases her.
And another great save by Sarrazin, and it's just almost like, as we talk, she goes and tries to one-up that one. That one was one of her better ones as she got down low and got the glove to almost pick it off the stick of Mira Ryan.
Sensational. There's not enough words to describe the play of Mahika Sarrazin.
Again, you know, it's always a question mark when a veteran incumbent graduates or leaves the program like Aurélie Dubuc did, you know, deciding to move on. But Sarrazin really stepping up here.
And I think it was less of a concern given the way that Sarrazin came in and played in her rookie season. The two of them really traded roles as that one shot high and into the netting there. But Sarrazin played over 10 games in 2020-2021, including a lot of playoff games in that one down the stretch. She's been solid since she joined the program and continues to show why.
Yeah, they put her in for that the latter half of the McGill series in the semifinal back in the playoffs of the season you were just mentioning. And yeah, that's when she really established herself. The Martlets won game 1. And it wasn't that Dubuc played poorly. They just decided to switch it up, put Sarrazin in, and she absolutely stonewalled the McGill Martlets right on this ice surface. Declan, you were on the call. I recall that one. And then they went to McGill and unfortunately lost a very close game, a controversial game, as a matter of fact. One of the near misses in the past couple of years the GGs have had it, clinching a spot in the national championship.
Well, Graham, and you mentioned that game, and Sarrazin was so important in that one, especially with the shortened bench for the University of Ottawa. Only 13 players dressed that day.
That was quite the game and quite the achievement to beat McGill, who I believe they were bounced in the first round, actually, that particular national championship, but always a threat at the Nationals. Healy trying to get on it. Now right in front, kicked aside again by Sarrazin. It was Guimond that time with the opportunity. Guimond, as we said, led the team in scoring last year, goal scoring, we should say, tied for the lead with Nicole Hunter. 6 goals for those two players. Miller dumps it in. Sarrazin slows it down for Amelia Laplante to gather it. She banks it off the boards and out. More good killing by the University of Ottawa GGs.
Textbook killing from the University of Ottawa. Calm, cool, collected. Not afraid to challenge the Ravens as we see Reedman come up and force an error.
25 seconds to go in the power play and under 3 to go in this third period as the GGs try to see out their first win of this RCQ season. Meisner at the hash marks. Centering it, Moret couldn't pull the trigger, and then it's out of the zone by Bilodeau, and that should about do it. So I'm not sure what it will officially go down as, but it's going to be 9 or 10 successful kills for the University of Ottawa. Special teams will be very happy with that one, and Metfum is now out of the box. Birkby wheeling around. Banking off the boards for Taylor Scott. Icing waved off as Scott's going to get there first. Centering it for LaSalle. It's a good save by Whitehead. It is in. Not sure how that one squirted in. Birkby in there, and it was LaSalle who was laying out. LaSalle's going to lead the charge to the bench, and I think, yeah, they're going to point to her, and it's going to be her first goal in Garnet and Gray.
Just a dogged player there, and another number of goals that the Carleton Ravens have given up. Tough outings for Caitlin Whiteman, and you can't really blame her. We'll wait for official confirmation, but Taylor Scott has gone over to go collect the puck.
Yeah, as it is LaSalle's first goal in Garnet and Gray. Did some decent goal scoring for Clarkson in the ECAC. Just across the border. And LaSalle, could she get another one here? She's got Biesenthal. Biesenthal, ooh, that one's a miss, actually. I think Biesenthal probably should have put that one home, and now Whitehead falls on the puck.
Would have been a Biesenthal hat trick.
Yeah. Yeah, she did have one against Carleton last year.
I think Biesenthal is going to like playing with Florence Lessard this season. They complement each other so well. We had mentioned it earlier on, but Florence Lessard pass first, Alyssa Biesenthal shoot first, and the two of them seem to have a chemistry that has started right away.
And then there's Gagnon on that line as well, who has the pre-existing chemistry with LaSalle, having played with her at Limoilou for a couple of years. Ryan retreats behind her own goal, so it's now 12 goals given up by the Ravens through their first 2 games. So pretty much exactly 2 per period as Sarrazin muscles that one to the far boards. Cernuk trying to turn, great feed, but just missed Lemay. Peyton Miller with a shot. Sarrazin without her stick right now. It's behind her goal. Oh, wow. So they gave the goal to Taylor Scott, actually. So there's Scotty getting on the score sheet. Sarrazin still without her stick here. That one chipped up in the air by Krasinski. It was LaSalle who led the charge down the bench, and I think they were trying to say that she would be the one to claim it, but we'll see if that gets changed after the fact. Merriman gets it to Lalonde. Lalonde spinning around, firing it into the body of Mumford. Sarrazin does have her stick back now with 45 seconds to go. So the GGs will see out their first victory of the 2023-24 season. And they've got a midweek game coming up, actually, against McGill at McGill. And then I believe they are back here on Sunday, Declan, to face the Bishop's Gators. So 3 games in 4 off the hop at home for the women's team.
And 3 big games that this team expects to win if they're to force a charge up the standings.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one against McGill after they did beat Montreal last night, but not to take away from this performance. A 5-0 win for Ottawa and a big shutout as well. Mika Sarrazin doing some stand-up goaltending, and she saves one more there right at the buzzer for good measure. And Ottawa with an emphatic 5-0 win over their crosstown rivals. And women's hockey in Ottawa remains Garnet and Gray.
Garnet and Gray all the way. The GGs put in a dominant performance tonight. From moment one, they make no mistake. They get on the board after a shaky start. We'll get quickly into our 3 stars of the night, giving the first one to Kiera Merriman for her outstanding play all around, a goal and an assist. Great play from the rookie. She really led the charge offensively. The second star of the night, Mahika Sarrazin, outstanding play in net. She kept the GGs in this one for large periods. And the third star of the night, I have given to Kylie Lalonde, a goal and an assist for Lalonde as she continues her dominant performance to start the year.
So it's a really good second game of the year for the University of Ottawa. And as we said, their next home game coming next Sunday against the Bishop's Gators. Until then, for Declan DeBarp, I'm Graham Naismith. Thank you for joining us.